Once upon a time, a little boy and his family moved to the city. His mischievous behavior was a constant source of trouble for his parents since he loved going on adventures and collecting old antiques from various places. His parents were fearful that he would get into trouble due to his behavior of purloining things, and their worries soon became a reality. The little boy got admitted to the nearby school, and instead of amending his mischievousness, he involved other students in his adventures. There used to be a deep forest behind the school. He persuaded his fellows repeatedly to visit there, but none agreed as they were scared of their parents. But his continuous impelling made all his friends agree with his idea. One day, without telling his parents, he snuck out of his house and went on a trip through the thick, dark woods behind his school with his buddies. Upon arriving, they found many little bugs crawling around the tall congested trees. As they ventured further, they came to a large open area with a pond. There in the clearing lay a small hand-sized mirror that caught the young boy's attention, so he decided to take it. All the kids spent some time in the forest and came back home. At night, the boy pulled out the mirror from his bag and started to explore it. He found nothing in the mirror, so he placed it on his side table and fell asleep. In the middle of the night, his sleep was interrupted due to a sharp, painful voice that reached his ears. As fear sprang up, he got up and sat on the bed. He looked around but couldn't find anything. Startled awake in the dead of night by a sudden, agonizing scream, he fearfully started imagining ghostly presences in the darkness. Although he stayed awake all night, in the morning, he thought it might be a nightmare, so he rejected the idea of monsters and didn't tell anyone about the incident. The next night again, in the middle of the night, his eyes got opened by a sharp, painful voice. This time his attention went toward the mirror lying on the table. He picked up the mirror and closely observed it. As soon as he brought the mirror in front of him, he saw the reflection of another boy in the mirror, and in fear, he threw the mirror far away. After some time, he mustered up his courage and bent down to pick up the mirror he had thrown on the floor. He looked into the mirror and found a helpless boy looking back at him, desperate for getting help. How would he be able to help him out of this situation? The little boy thought to himself. The reflection in the mirror told the boy that he must return to the woodland where he had first discovered it to free the young boy trapped within its glass prison. The little boy decided to help the mirror boy. Upon arriving near the forest pond the next day, the little boy pulled out the mirror from his pocket and noticed the reflection of a boy waiting for him. He questioned the boy about what he was supposed to do. The mirror boy instructed him to jump into the pond, where he could discover a secret door inside. The boy got scared at the thought of jumping into the pond and told the mirror boy that he would not be able to do so, and despite the repeated pleas of the mirror boy for help, he decided to take his way back home. When he reached the middle of the forest, something in his heart pushed him to go back and help the mirror boy. He stayed there thinking about what to do. After some time, he made up his mind and went back to the pond. Without thinking a second, he jumped into the pond. The boy was not a good swimmer. He struggled to keep himself in the pond. He tried his best to find a door. Soon he found the door. He opened it with his full might. In no time, he was in another land where the other boy was expecting him. He advised the lad to flee from there quickly, yet the other boy gave him a wicked smile. He told the little one that the incident was a plan to ensnare him in a trap. Soon, the little boy found himself surrounded by critters that seemed to do him harm. As he had experienced various adventures in life, he had great physical and mental agility, yet the challenge was finding a way out of that place. He started looking for an escape route while running away from critters. Within a few seconds, he went too far for the nasty creatures to get hold of him. He settled himself behind a large tree in an attempt to remain unseen. He started thinking about the way out of the place but didn't know where to go without a guide. In his fear, he began weeping and eventually let sleep take him in his sorrow. In his dream, he saw himself jumping into a pond with red water. Upon awakening, his intuition prodded him to find the pond with red water, so, hesitantly, he began his quest. Soon enough, he arrived at the lake he had seen in his dream and without a second thought, instantly plunged into the water. To his surprise, when he surfaced in the lake, he found himself standing in his very own room back at home. He felt his body trembling with fear. He realized the dangers of picking up items from outside. He threw the mirror out of his room window and promised himself that he would never pick up anything from outside.